I am a storyteller. All my life I've listened to stories, been moved by stories, and watched the stories of life play out. And I've listened to storytellers to learn the skills and secrets and meaning of storytelling. This is the story of a storyteller telling the story, I must die instead of the dervish. An assembly of listeners gathered once to hear a story. The storyteller of the story looked into those gathered and said, I am a storyteller and I am one of you. Be comfortable, be at ease, listen with your ears, open your hearts, and hear the story. I must die instead of the dervish. In a land and time much like our own, a group of seekers gathered around a dervish who was said to know the secrets of the mystical path. They listened to his stories. They studied. They worked together and felt they were surely making progress in the way of transformation and wisdom. One day, the dervish announced, the time has come. I must go on the long journey. The way is difficult with hardship and danger, and the end of the journey is unknown. Take what you've learned and do what you will. The seekers dispersed in confusion, but one remained and said, Respected dervish, I will go with you. The dervish said, You know the difficulties and dangers, and yet you ask to go. Know this also. There is one condition you must accept to go on the long journey. You must learn and practice the words, I must die instead of the dervish, and vow to speak them when I throw my arms up. The seeker was deeply troubled, thinking, this may be madness that will bring me death instead of life and wisdom. And though fearful, he made his vow and practiced the words, I must die instead of the dervish. The two traveled long through many lands and experiences, and arrived at last at the city of a gray and dismal land. Whose people were anxious, with downcast eyes and bent bodies. Entering the city, the seeker and the dervish were seized by soldiers and taken before the ruler of that land, a tyrant, accompanied by his executioner. The tyrant said, "To keep order in my land, it is my custom on appointed days to put to death here some troublesome person or doubtful stranger. And you, dervish, have arrived to that fate." The dervish stepped forward and proclaimed, "Exalted ruler, I am ready, take my life." And he threw his arms up. And the seeker stepped forward and cried, "I must die instead of the dervish." The dervish shouted, "Ignore this feckless youth and take my life," and threw his arms up. And again the seeker cried, "No, I must die instead of the dervish." And the tyrant said, "What madness is this that both of you are pleading to die?" And the dervish replied, "Your Majesty, we are here because the prophecy of the wise, confirmed by the stars and shown in the signs of nature, says, on this day in this place, one who dies willingly will immediately return to life, immortal and all-powerful." The tyrant, hearing this, cried out, "I must be the one who will be immortal and all-powerful." And he ordered the executioner to behead him. And so it was done. And from that day, light and health were reborn in that land, and a spirit of joy and new life spread among the people. The storyteller leaned forward, looked into those gathered, and said, "What vow did you make at the beginning of your journey? What tyrant in you has to die so this land bloom in light and friendship again?"